I was probably, I don't know, 5th or 6th grade reading the newspaper way back. Newspapers used to be a thing, kids. Google it. And I think that was when I first heard about Doctors Without Borders. And I saw they were coming to town, which amazes me. There's a huge footprint here in front of the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Aaron is here with Doctors Without Borders. For people that don't know, what is Doctors Without Borders?
Yeah, Doctors Without Borders is an independent international humanitarian medical organization. So we give free health care to marginalized and vulnerable people across the globe, whether that be regardless of religion, race, ethnicity.
You're just trying to help people.
Yeah, we're just trying to help people
all across the world.
All across the world.
Now, and they have brought this huge display right here. This is one of the biggest interactive displays I've seen in Charlotte in a long time. We're going to get into more of this, but what is this Forced from Home? What is it all about?
Yeah, we're trying to raise awareness about the world's more than 68.5 million displaced people across the globe, and we're doing that through a free interactive exhibition space.
And I think I was reading somewhere that 50% of those displaced people are children, correct?
That's correct.
Oh,
That's
wow.
correct. And women and children are some of the most vulnerable people in these situations.
We're going to get into all this. They've got to kind of cover it up a little bit because of the rain and all that, but we're going to take you around this morning and show you some of these interactive displays. They have a lot of field trips coming through. You might be hearing about this from your kids. We'll have more details online and have them linked up at WCCBCharlotte.com. That's Wilson's World. We're uptown. Back to you.
Let's check in with Wilson. He's hanging out outside of the NASCAR Hall of Fame this morning. Oh, hey, Wilson.
Good morning. It is rainy, but I have my new branded umbrella this morning.
Nice.
So thank you for that. Hey, it's a great umbrella. Listen, good morning, everybody. If you're just tuning in, I'm out this morning with Doctors Without Borders. We're in front of the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Aaron is here with me right now. And we've told you a little bit about what the Forced from Home interactive display is all about right here. We've got one of the displays here behind us. What is this?
Yeah, this is what we call the push factor station. So we're looking at the 5 different contexts that we focus and look at what are some of the push factors that causes somebody to force to flee their home.
Right.
So those can be religious tension, ethnic tension, political strife, war or violence. So we ask participants to choose 5 different items that they would take with them on their journey.
And one of these things is it's kind of a time thing, which sometimes with some of these people kind of getting out of these situations, it is. How long do they have to pick the 5 items?
We give participants 30 seconds to choose 5 items quickly that they would take with them on their journey. And as they move throughout the exhibition, they're forced to give up 1 item at a time.
Oh, wow.
As would somebody who is fleeing would be forced to do as well.
And I'm seeing different things on here. I'm seeing, a wheelchair, a baby bottle, cell phone, motorcycle. These are all kind of things. I imagine it's kind of by design. It's pretty tough to pick 5 things in 30 seconds, and that's all you got.
Yeah, it is. And if you're sick, are you going to take your medication? Are you going to take family heirlooms? Are you going to take your passport? Is your passport even something that would benefit you in this situation?
And this is interesting here. And I'm kind of feeling out here in the rain. It is a little fitting. I know you probably will come by here when it's not raining, hopefully. They're here till Sunday, so come check this out. But the rain, it is kind of fitting. I almost feel like some of the stories that I heard Marvin on the 10 o'clock and some of our crew cover with the storm that we had, where some people literally had just seconds to get out of their house.
Yeah, and what do you take in those situations?
Yeah. No, this hits you pretty hard right here. They've got a lot of field trips coming through to check this out. You're here till Sunday. Where can people find out more information?
Yeah, they can visit www.forcedfromhome.com and learn more.
We're gonna find out more out here this morning. All kinds of good stuff. We are going to have them. Wait a minute, my branded umbrella. Where is it? We are going to have more linked up at WCCBCharlotte.com. We got that for you. Weather, traffic, and a whole lot more. This is WCCB, and we'll be right back. Hey, good morning, everybody. Yes, Doctors Without Borders are in town. I know some of you are like, what? We've heard about them on the news for decades now, at least I have. Forced from Home is what this interactive display is. It stopped raining for a little bit, and I'm glad it did, because it gives you a chance to talk to this man, Dr. Jim Peck. You have traveled the world helping people everywhere from Bangladesh to Sri Lanka. What makes you want to do that?
Well, I really enjoy operating or helping people, and there's nothing better than people saying thank you. And they really mean it in these countries, because without us being there, there's no one there. And so it's a great feeling using your skills to help others.
When you come here and check this out, you're going to see that Doctors Without Borders, they go to a lot of different situations. Some are more, there's not really a nice way to say it, some are more of a hot zone than others. You've been to some of those places, and you've helped some of those people that are in wartime. That's really got to stay with you.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing, but about 50% of the missions for Doctors Without Borders are in countries in conflict,
Right.
or basically civil war, and that's why they need surgeons.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we see a lot of really difficult stuff, and some of us have trouble with that. You know, post-traumatic stress is part of us as well as those patients that are going through it.
50% in conflict, 50% of the refugees out there, the people that are trying to help our children as well. We're going to get into more of that a little bit later on. What is this behind us?
So this is once you've gone through leaving home and trying to get to some place of safety. So you're seeking safety is not a crime.
Yeah.
You're getting in a boat, or you may walk for great distances. But if you're coming from Honduras, you're going to jump on a freight train and try to get through Mexico to the American border. About the most common cause of death is falling off the freight train. Sometimes they take off their belt, tie themselves to a little rim there.
Oh, yeah.
And so when they fall asleep while they're on the train, they don't fall off.
Those are people, you know, down there for the most part that are leaving their homes because
of war or displacement or violence, all the push factors that we talked about. They may be food insecurity.
Right.
You know, 50% of the people in South Sudan, when I was there in May and June, were unable to eat. There was no food.
Right.
So they were leaving their country to go to Uganda or another place to get food.
you've got people just walking, jumping in a raft, really just trying to get anywhere they can to be safe.
Anywhere for safety. They're just trying to get home.
We're going to tell you more about the people they're helping, what they're doing, and what you will see when you come and check this out. It's Forced from Home. It is here till Sunday. We'll have a link up at WCCBCharlotte.com. We've got more weather and traffic on the way. This is WCCB Charlotte, and we'll be right back. We are in front of the NASCAR Hall of Fame this morning. This is Dr. Jim Peck here with me, with Doctors Without Borders. Forced from Home is an interactive display that is here till Sunday in front of the NASCAR Hall of Fame. It's fascinating speaking with you. You've been around the world just trying to help people. To you, what are the biggest misconceptions when people hear the word refugees?
Well, I think the problem is that there are so many different classifications of displaced persons.
Right.
Of the 68.5 million so-called refugees, 40 million are internally displaced. So they have no legal rights within international law.
And when you say internally displaced, what does that
They're in
mean?
their own country. They haven't
okay.
crossed the border.
Okay.
So an asylum seeker or a refugee is somebody that's left the country and because of persecution, fear of persecution or war, and cannot return to his country.
Right.
But those that are internally displaced are still in their own country, and the only person responsible for them are their own country who they're trying to
get away from. Wow.
So it's a very difficult situation. For instance, South Sudan or Syria, 6.2 million in Syria are internally displaced.
Right.
Doctors Without Borders trying to get to them is very difficult. Very difficult. And so you can understand that that's a big problem. The other one is stateless people. About 10 million people in the world are stateless. They have no citizenship. So I was recently in Bangladesh, and the Rohingya population, which are Muslim, were considered not citizens of Myanmar since 1982 when the military government came. So when they crossed the river into Bangladesh, they have no citizenship. So they have no way of becoming part of that country.
Oh, wow.
So it's a real difference. Moreover, in 26 countries, women cannot pass citizenship to their children. So if you're in Syria and your husband takes off, your husband says, you go, I'm going to stay with the farm. Right. Your kids and you don't have citizenship.
You told me something interesting a couple minutes ago off air, that when people that you're helping, people that are trying to get out, they've had to leave their homes, they take their keys.
Yeah. They take their keys because they think they're going to come back. This is a temporary thing. This is just something they're going to lock their door and come back. Turns out that the average length of time in one of these camps, 17 years. 17 years in a camp.
17 years.
In Syria, there are 250,000 kids that are being educated. 250,000.
Listen, we're going to have a link up at WCCBCharlotte.com. You can find out more about this. Very little rainy out here this morning, but get over here over the next couple of days. Some really, really great stuff. Again, WCCBCharlotte.com. Yep, Wilson's well. I know sometimes we do the crazy and the fun and all that. We do that a lot. Every once in a while I like to do one of these shows. I've been hearing about Doctors Without Borders since I was getting off the school bus reading the newspaper every day, 5th or 6th grade. I can't believe that they're here in Charlotte. They're here till Sunday in front of the NASCAR Hall of Fame. This is Dr. Rob Williams who's here with us. We've been hearing about Syria for quite a while here on the news. This is a rare opportunity for you guys out there to come here. It's free. You always know what I say. If it's free, it's for me. It's free to come and speak with Dr. Rob here and Jim and all the other people. You've been to Syria. We see it on the news here back home. We watch these things. What was that experience like for you?
So Syria, unfortunately, has been at war since 2011. I was in Syria in the northwest of the country.
Right.
I'm an emergency doctor, so I was in a trauma and burn hospital there. You know, the majority of the people that we treat are not combatants. They're not people who are soldiers. They're people who are, you know,
they've left
like
their homes.
You and me.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're forced from
They're
their
just
homes.
the war comes to them, things start blowing up, and then you go. And
exactly.
With Doctors Without Borders, I want to get to some of the things in this display here. It's a very interactive exhibit here you can come and see. The medical needs, we were just talking here before we came on. What are some of the perceptions here? It seems like some of these illnesses here in this country that people are dying from overseas, that doesn't happen here.
Pretty rarely.
Yeah.
So, you know, we do treat normal things that we see in the U.S., like diarrhea and pneumonia, but we do have other things that we don't see in the United States, such as malnutrition, malaria, cholera, things like that. So I'll just kind of show you.
What do we got here?
So, Wilson, what do you think this could be? It's not a hospital bracelet.
Oh goodness! I believe this would be something that would have someone's information on there about what they've been treated with.
Kind of close. So this is a way we diagnose severe malnutrition.
Okay.
So this is called a MUAC. You take a child and you basically measure their upper arm.
Right.
I kind of put it through their hand.
Right.
Green, no malnutrition.
Okay.
Red. So that's severely malnourished. So if you can imagine like a 4 or 5-year-old child who has a arm circumference of that size, that's a severely malnourished kid. The good thing about malnutrition is it's actually pretty, you know, easy to diagnose.
Right.
This costs a couple cents.
Right.
This is called plumpy nut. This is how we treat malnutrition.
Okay.
It's a high calorie dense food.
Right.
Made primarily of peanuts.
Okay.
And give 1 or 2 of these a day for a couple weeks, and you basically cure malnutrition. These cost 50 cents each.
Oh my goodness! And that seems like such a little thing that can really go a long way to help some of these people. That and another thing, 50% of worldwide refugees people are children as well, and that's one of the big things that this is about.
Yes, exactly. Children are most vulnerable refugees.
We're going to find out more right here. More of this display. It's very interactive. Come in and speak with doctors just like Rob right here. We'll tell you more coming up. They are here till Sunday. ForceFromHome.com. We'll have that linked for you at WCCBCharlotte.com. We are in front of the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Doctors Without Borders here. Their interactive exhibit is here till Sunday. Force from Home. Aaron is here with me. I've kind of gone around most of it here. It is free for you to come and check out. And this is where it kind of ends up right here with these tents. You were just telling me here that, well, I mean, nobody really wants to live in a tent for 5 years.
Correct. We have to remember that people are fleeing persecution, war, and violence, and they're living in these refugee camps that are cramped, packed. So we have here in our exhibition 3 different tents, replicas from Somalia, from Bosnia, and from Iraq, which you can see behind us here.
And these are, again, people don't want to live in these. This wasn't a choice for them to leave their homes. For the most part, there were people, you know, just like us, with homes and houses and families and jobs and great jobs and to have your family live in one of these things. This is what it's kind of all about. And I do want to mention this as well. I got a question on Twitter right here. This is kid-friendly. Like, this is family-friendly. We're talking about some serious stuff here this morning, and I feel like we should do that with you sometimes here on Wilson's World. So people come in and they can check all of this out.
Yes, they can. Like I said, we're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., and then 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., and this weekend from 10 to 6.
And you've been on the road. You've been doing this Doctors Without Borders thing for a long time. For you, I guess I'm trying to say, when people walk in here, they may have some ideas about what this is going to be.
Yeah.
What do you think the biggest surprise is when people come through this and they see and they kind of go, oh, I didn't know that?
Yeah, I think the biggest surprise is that this could be you or me. This could be any one of us. And what we want to show is that seeking safety, these people who are fleeing violence, they're escaping persecution and war and really trying to seek safety. It's not a crime. So I want people to see that when they come through.
Well, I think that's a great point, because this is something that, for whatever reason, wherever you happen to be in the world, here or wherever, people want to keep their families safe. And we're talking about families, and I think I was seeing somewhere 50% of the people you're helping are children.
Yeah, and also think about the mental trauma that a child would go through facing these journeys, and that's something that can last for a lifetime as well.
They are here through Sunday. We are right in front of the NASCAR Hall of Fame. There is plenty of parking around here. It is family friendly. It's serious, but it is interactive. I think it'd be a great thing for you to bring the family to and learn a little bit here. Weather's going to be great over the weekend. We're going to have more details up at WCCBCharlotte.com. Forcedfromhome.com is the website. Thank you so much. And I just want to, thanks for speaking with me. Talking to the doctors here was amazing, to talk to people who had been on really the front lines of this.
Yeah, and that's one of the best parts about this exhibition, is that we can really give testimony from our experience and show the experience that seeking safety is not a crime.
All right. More details, WCCBCharlotte.com. That's Wilson's World.